Clair Obscur Expedition 33 just received 12 nominations for the Game Awards 2025. That's not just the most nominations of any game this year, that's the most nominations in the entire 11-year history of the Game Awards. More than Baldur's Gate 3, more than Elden Ring, and more than The Last of Us Part 2. A debut game from a small French indie studio just broke every record, and on December 11th, it's going to sweep all 12 categories. This isn't just speculation, it's pattern recognition. Let me show you why the outcome is already decided. Let's understand what 12 Game Awards nominations actually means. The Game Awards nominees are selected by a jury of over 150 global media outlets. These aren't fans, these are professional critics, journalists, and industry insiders. For a game to receive 12 nominations, it needs near unanimous recognition across all categories, not just in one or two areas, across art, music, performance, narrative, direction, and gameplay. Here are the categories Expedition 33 is nominated in: Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Best Performance, with 3 separate nominations for Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and Jennifer English. Best Debut Indie Game, Best Independent Game, Best Role-Playing Game. That is structural domination. You don't achieve that through marketing or hype. You achieve it through execution across every dimension of game design. Every game that's received 10 or more nominations at the Game Awards has won Game of the Year. The Last of Us Part 2, 10 nominations, won Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate 3, 8 nominations, won Game of the Year. Elden Ring, 7 nominations, won Game of the Year. There's never been a game with double-digit nominations that lost. The correlation is perfect. Expedition 33 has 12 nominations, 4 more than Death Stranding 2, which has 8, 6 more than Hades 2, which has 6. The voting isn't going to be close. The jury already spoke through the nominations. December 11th is just the formalization. Let's talk about why the game earned these nominations. Expedition 33 is a turn-based JRPG with real-time parry mechanics. It's set in a Belle Epoque, France, where a mysterious painter executes people when they reach their 33rd year. The premise alone is conceptually bold, but the execution is what matters. The game's visual design is unlike anything else in 2025. It blends turn-of-the-century French aesthetics with surreal fantasy elements. Steampunk without the cliches, gothic without the grimness. Every environment is handcrafted, no procedural generation, no copy-paste, just pure artistic vision. Compare that to the competition in Best Art Direction. Death Stranding 2, another Kojima work of art, but still a slightly improved sequel. Ghost of Yote, beautiful, but iterating on Ghost of Tsushima's already established aesthetic. Hades 2, another gorgeous work of art, but still just a sequel, slightly improved from the original. Hollow Knight, Silksong, another sequel, but stunning and evolutionary nonetheless. All sequels. Expedition 33 is the only nominee that feels truly, genuinely novel. A visual language that didn't exist before this game. An actual work of art. Every year, there's discussion about whether the Game Awards is too focused on AAA and whether indie games get fair recognition. This year is different. The Game of the Year category includes these indie titles: Expedition 33, Hades 2, Silksong, Death Stranding 2, and Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the only traditional AAA entry. That's 5 out of 6 nominees that are non-traditional. The industry has already decided 2025 belongs to independent developers. This is why Expedition 33 will win the indie narrative. Among the indie nominees, Expedition 33 has the most compelling story. Hades 2, sequel to a beloved game, expected excellence. Hollow Knight Silksong, finally released after years of delays, relief more than surprise. Expedition 33, the first game from an unknown studio, completely unexpected quality. A French team competing with industry giants. That narrative matters. The Game Awards love crowning breakthrough moments. The underdog story, the debut sensation. Baldur's Gate 3 won in 2023 partly because Larian is an independent studio that competed with AAA and won. Expedition 33 is this year's Larian story, but even more dramatic because it's a debut. Let's run the numbers on how voting actually works. The Game Awards winner is determined by 90% jury vote and 10% public vote, fan voting online. That 90-10 split is critical. The public can influence close races, but the jury decides outcomes. The jury already voted. The nominations are the jury vote. When 150 plus outlets independently selected Expedition 33 for 12 different categories, they revealed their preference. Those same outlets now vote on winners. They're not going to nominate a game 12 times, then vote against it. Look at the competition. Death Stranding 2, 8 nominations, strong showing. But divisive game. Kojima's work always splits critics. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Nintendo polish, but critics view it as iterative, not innovative. Hades 2, excellent game, but the jury is split on how much it actually improves over the original. Hollow Knight Silksong, long awaited but came out late in the year. Recency bias works against it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, niche appeal, medieval sim, fans love it. But the broader audience is indifferent. Here's why Expedition 33 wins all 12 categories. Categories with weak competition. Best debut indie. Only debut games compete. Expedition 33 is objectively the strongest. Best independent game. Against other indies, it has the most nominations. Best RPG. JRPG excellence in a category dominated by Western RPGs. Categories with split votes. Best performance. 3 Expedition 33 actors against 2 others. Mathematically favorable. Best art direction. The only visually revolutionary nominee. Best score and music. French composers bringing orchestral depth. In categories where quality is undeniable. Best game direction. 12 nominations proves directorial excellence. Best narrative. The 33-year mortality premise is conceptually unique. Best audio design. Turn-based combat relies on audio feedback. There isn't a single category where Expedition 33 is the underdog. In most, it's the prohibitive favorite. This is bigger than one game winning awards. Expedition 33 sweeping the Game Awards represents a paradigm shift in gaming. For a decade, the industry has been consolidating. Major publishers buying studios, budgets inflating to over $200 million or more, risk aversion becoming standard. The message to developers: you need massive budgets to compete. But then a small French studio proved otherwise. Sandfall Interactive is not a big studio. They don't have publisher funding from Sony or Microsoft. They're not backed by venture capital. They made a turn-based JRPG, a genre that's supposedly dead, with a setting nobody asked for, in a market oversaturated with open-world action games. And they're about to dominate the Game Awards. That sends a signal to every independent developer: you can still win. You don't need $200 million. You need vision, execution, and craft. The industry needed this. The consolidation trend was making gaming homogeneous, safe sequels, proven formulas, nothing risky. Expedition 33 is risk incarnate, and it's succeeding because of that risk, not despite it. December 11th isn't the competition, it's the coronation. The Game Awards has never seen a nomination spread like this, 12 nominations across 10 categories, a debut indie game outperforming every AAA competitor. The critics already decided, the jury already voted their nominations. The pattern is clear. On December 11th, Jeff Keighley will announce the winners, and you're going to watch Expedition 33 win Best Debut Indie Game, Best Independent Game, Best RPG, Best Audio Design, Best Score and Music, Best Art Direction, Best Performance by Ben Starr, Best Narrative, Best Game Direction, and finally, Game of the Year. This isn't hope or fandom, this is pattern recognition. No game with 12 nominations has ever lost. The historical precedent is perfect, the competition is fractured, the narrative is compelling, the quality is undeniable, the sweep is inevitable. Not because the Game Awards is rigged, but because when a small indie studio creates something genuinely excellent across every dimension of game design, the industry recognizes it. Baldur's Gate 3 proved in 2023 that independent developers can compete with AAA. Expedition 33 proves this year that debut studios can dominate. The old model is dying. The model where big budgets guarantee success, where established franchises own awards season, where safe sequels beat risky originals. Expedition 33 represents the new model. Creative risk, artistic vision, technical excellence without bloated budgets. And on December 11th, when it sweeps all 12 categories, that new model becomes undeniable. The game already won. The ceremony is just the announcement. 12 nominations, 12 wins. If you appreciated this analysis, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.